Let's see if we're all ready. Yep, looks like I'm all ready. Welcome, everybody. My name is Sharon Brubaker. I'm a grief specialist. I am the owner of the Grief School. The Grief School is a private university and the place where healing begins. And I'm so glad that you're here today. Today, earlier, I did a little teaser on what we're going to be teaching tonight. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the difference between journaling and a brain dump. Not so much journaling, but I will talk about journaling and then really what a brain dump is. What is a brain dump? How can it serve you? How can you use it as a tool for your grieving brain? Your grieving brain. Your brain won't stop scanning for danger. It is scanning for grief danger. It sees everywhere and everything you do as dangerous, as every song you hear, every smell you hear, every grocery store item you see, it scans it for grief danger. And when it finds that grief danger, it sends it to you just like that. Boom. And that, my friends, is what happens to us when we are grieving and we are in active grief and we are moving around in this world. But when we get to that grief danger, it sends a thought to our brain, and our brain sends an emotion to our heart. And that emotion that it sends is grief. And when we feel that grief, what we do is we keep moving right along as if it has never happened. And that is what is holding us back. The grief that we are feeling, that we are not moving, is holding us back in our grief. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for the likes. It's absolutely amazing. When we get this up to 25, this is the last time you're going to hear me say this because that's not what I'm doing here. When we get it up to 2,500, they put it out into the world and people get to see me standing here having fun. I have fun because I'm with you guys. Let me tell you. Okay, here's the problem. You get stuck in survival mode. Your brain becomes foggy. Your body becomes exhausted. As Miss Becky said today, you become tired. You become anxious. Your brain won't stop circling the pain. Your brain won't stop circling the pain. But tonight we're going to do our best to break that down. What is a brain dump? How does it help? How is it different from journaling? How thoughts fuel your emotions and keep you spinning. I want everybody to make sure you have a piece of paper tonight and a pencil, some sort of writing implement, pencil or pen. We're going to do a brain dump around halfway through our class. We are going to do a brain dump together, okay? We're just going to do one together and see, and I'm going to take you all the way through the exercise to see if, hey, Miss Keisha, to see if it can help you to understand what it means and what we're doing. All right. Brain dumps thoughts and emotions. Your brain is on patrol. It keeps hunting for danger and grief. It keeps hunting for danger and grief because it thinks it's keeping you on alert. And it thinks by keeping your brain on alert that it's keeping you alive. If I can keep her on alert and keep her looking for all of the things, she's going to stay alive. That's why when you're in the grocery store and then you hear the song, I don't know the name of the song that they played for Austin. And I can't sing, so I'm not going to sing it here. But it was, "You're beautiful, you're beautiful." I'm not singing. That's what it was. It was in 2006. I have to Google it. Erica picked it. It was a beautiful song. They played it at Austin's funeral. So some years later, I'm in an Albertsons grocery store with my husband, Tony, and I hear the song. Now, mind you guys, I've already done my grief work. So I hear the song and my heart immediately goes to, oh my gosh, Austin, how beautiful. Hey, Miss Debbie. Oh my gosh, Austin. We are like literally standing in the aisle at the grocery store and I hear it playing over the loudspeaker. Oh my gosh, Austin, so beautiful. And I said, Tony, listen. And he goes, what? I go, listen to the song. And it was like he got disoriented for a second, but I could see the moment that the song registered. The moment that the song registered within his ears and in his brain. Tony is 6'4", you guys, I'm 5'2". And I was looking up at him, and all I saw were tears. And it was sometimes later. Like I'm telling you guys, it was 3 or 4 years later. Now I had already done my grief work. And I said, "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry." And he just looked at me and he's like, "I can't." And he walked out of the store. It can be it can be a song on aisle 7, and it can knock you flat. It can knock you flat on your butt. Your chest starts to tighten. Your stomach's like, "I can't do this." And it runs out of the store. Tonight, we're going to stop arguing with the alarm. Tonight, we're going to stop arguing with the alarm that's in your brain, and we're going to give it a job to do. So when you come upon aisle 7 and you hear that song, your brain sends this alarm out. So the alarm system goes off. Your brain 100% knows that something is wrong. It also sends it to your nervous system. That's exactly what happened. You're in aisle 7. You hear the song. This thing starts to blah, 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 and it sends it right down to you. It starts to panic. It starts like a panic. Tonight we're going to stop arguing with the alarm and just let it be. One of the things we have to do is we have to understand that this is going to happen multiple times a day, multiple times an hour, until you start tending to it. Once you start tending to it, it'll start to loosen. We're going to do a brain dump together. We're going to talk about our truth. We're going to talk about how the brain is wired, for survival. The amygdala part of the brain that scans for threat doesn't know the difference between a car coming at you at a high speed or when you're just going through a memory of your person. I shared some of this morning. That's why we panic in the grocery store. That's why Tony froze in the grocery store. That's why Tony froze and ran out in the grocery store. The brain doesn't know when the calendar page needs to be switched. It's September. And then October, Halloween is coming. And then November, Thanksgiving is coming. The brain doesn't know that you're turning the page of the calendar. It doesn't know that you're simply going to the next month. Right? It's constantly scanning to see what it needs to do to protect you. It's not that you're failing. It's not that you're broken. Your brain is overprotective. Your brain thinks that the worst has already happened. So anything you connect to that memory feels like danger. It knows that the worst has already happened because your heart is telling it. And our job is to teach the brain to be safe again. Our job is to teach the brain to be safe again and calm down the energy, one brain dump at a time. Hey, Miss Hope. Hey, everybody. Miss Hope is here. Everybody, can we tap the screen and say happy birthday to Miss Hope? Everybody tap the screen for Miss Hope. Today's her birthday. I hope you're okay with me sharing that. Let's take a little closer at how this plays out. I did some brain. I've taught you guys the grief model. But it is really important that we understand this. We understand, hey, Miss Cynthia, I'm listening now. It's really important. Duda's sister says, some of us have had to have that brain since we were tiny little. Yes. She said, oh, thank you. I didn't know you knew. A little birdie told me. I didn't know. A little birdie told me. Okay, so we have an event because we're grievers. We have an event. For me, my event was that Donovan died. We called him Donna. I had a thought about that event. I can't do this. I can't do this again. And immediately the emotion that I felt was fear. You guys, let me help you with this. This event right here that I had, that event is absolutely neutral. There is no energy here. There are no emotions here. I don't want to offend you, but the truth is there are no emotions in the event. It is neutral. Emotions come when we add the emotion to it through the thought. Let me give you an example, okay? I'm going to use the same exact event. My event was Donovan died. It's neutral. My thought is, I was so blessed to know him. I was so honored to have him on my journey. We add a plus or minus to it based on the thought that we have. For me, this thought happened immediately. I can't do this again. And the emotion that I had was fear. And I did my same old action. I was strong. Okay? I was be strong. All right. The brain here's the phone call about Donovan, and then the alarm sets off. Once the alarm sets off, it really goes to wreaking havoc on my heart, right? This is all what's happening at the same time. For some of us, I want you guys to understand this, not for some of us, for all of us. We have 40 to 60,000 thoughts a day. This is a review I know of last week, you guys. 40 to 60,000 grief thoughts a day. If you're having 40 to 60 grief thoughts a day, how many times is your heart sinking into your stomach? How often are you at the part where you absolutely can't breathe? How often are you like, I can't catch my breath, I can't catch my breath? Here's the other thing. Some of the thoughts are loud. They're coming through your brain so loud. And some of them you can barely hear because they're so small. Because they're whispering in the back of your brain. They're back here whispering. And these thoughts that are so small, that are whispering in the back of our brain, are playing on repeat, you guys. Listen to me. I can't do this. I can't do this. The thought is, I can't do this. 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 I can't live without her. I can't live without her. I'll never live without her. I can't do another day without her. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. You're saying it so many times. You're saying it 60,000 times. You don't even hear yourself saying it. You're saying it so much, you don't even hear yourself saying it. And this thought is, how am I going to do this? Oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? I don't know. How am I going to do this? At the same time, this thought is playing on repeat in the back of your brain. Every single time you have a thought, every single time you hear a thought, it sends an emotion to your heart. Come on, you guys. Tell me this. Sad, mad. Oh, that's not even mad. Mad, bag. I said bag. Happy, right? Mad, pissed, mad, angry. Every single one of these thoughts, loud or whispered, sends an emotion. This is why we're doing the brain dump. This is exactly why we're doing the brain dump. We have to do the brain dump. We can't function like this. The brain dump is to help us relieve the pressure. The brain dump is to help us relieve the negative pressure. The brain dump is to help us relieve the negative pressure of the thoughts and the emotions that are wearing us out. When you come to me as a griever and you say, I'm exhausted, I know this is what you're going through. When you say, I'm tired, this is what you're going through. Everybody, make sure you have a piece of paper and a pencil because we're going to do a brain dump here in a little bit. This is what is happening, you guys. It's a thought, an event, a thought, and a feeling. That's what's happening. Then your brain creates this thought about the event. And then you start to judge it, whether it's good or bad, right? But you act out of the feeling. You act out of the feeling. You're not acting out of the thought. You're acting out of the feeling. So if the feeling is sad, your actions are going to be based on sad. Your actions are going to be based on sad. So we're here to write it down so it stops running the show. It stops running the show and it can quietly move into the shadows. Here are some quick examples that I want to give you. Quick examples of thoughts. So your event is going to be your loss, but I just want to give you some examples of thoughts. I don't know that these are your thoughts, but this is the thoughts I'm going to go with. He should be here. I got to get some water. Okay. If the thought is he should be here, and then the feeling is rage. He should be here, and then I feel rage. He's not here. Our daughter's getting married. He should be here right now. How can I go to this marriage wedding without him? And then our action is we shut down. Your daughter is expecting you to show up for her wedding, to help her plan her wedding. But you're so mad that he's not here because he died. He left you. And now you have a thought about it. And your thought is, how the hell did he leave me? How did he leave me now? And you have this emotion of rage. And now you shut down. You can't even show up for your own daughter. She's expecting you to be there, but you can't show up for her because you are acting out of this rage. You're acting out of the rage, not the thought. So, two things. You can brain dump here in the thought, he should be here. Everything about he should be here, you can brain dump there. You can brain dump in the rage. You can pull the emotion up and you can brain dump in the emotion. You can brain dump in the shutting down, the action that you're doing. Why am I shutting down? This is not fair to her. Why am I shutting down? And you get your piece of paper out and you write down, why am I shutting down? And you brain dump as to why you're shutting down. You write the word rage. Why do I keep feeling this rage, this rage, this rage? And you brain dump in the rage. You brain dump in the thought, he should be here. You get a voicemail. I'm going to do a second one. You get a voicemail from the hospital. Hey, Mrs. Brubaker, this is ABC Hospital. I just want to let you know that the bill has still not been paid. The bill has not been paid. So there's an event, and it's simply a voicemail. It's a voicemail. It's neutral. The voicemail is neutral. But then we have a thought about the voicemail. We have a thought about the voicemail. I cannot do this. I can't do this. He didn't leave me with any money. How am I supposed to pay this? I can't do this. He didn't leave me with any money. Here, I can't do this based on the voicemail. She just said, hey, Mrs. Brubaker, we just want to let you know it's ABC Hospital. The invoice has still not been paid. You haven't paid for when your husband was here in January, and we just need you to know, we can help you with that. You can come on in and take it out over. We have a department. They can help you give payments, blah, blah, blah. She goes through the whole thing on the voicemail. But you don't even hear the voicemail. Because all you can think of is, I can't do this. How am I supposed to pay off $150,000? And then your feeling is panic. That voicemail was neutral. She was trying to help you get to the point. Yes. Would it freak me out? Yes. But my point is, you start to spin. You start to spin on that. Here's the next thing. Your action. You stop answering the phone. You stop answering the phone. You got a voicemail. I can't do this. You panic. And now you don't answer any calls. Some of us take it even a step further and we disconnect that number altogether. All because of this thought, I can't do this. Now, What would happen if she were to brain dump this? What would happen if Sharon was to brain dump this? She would write down, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Why can't I do this? And the anxiety of that, she would brain dump it out. Brain dump it out. When she's done, she blows off that negative energy. She can pick up the phone and call the hospital or not. But at least she's going to know where she's coming from with that. At least she's going to know where she's coming from. At least she can get some of the energy off to loosen the panic. We tend to the feelings and emotion. She can get some of the panic off, right? Okay, let me do one more before we get into our brain dump. Okay, a friend calls you and she invites you to go out. Hey girl, where are you at? I haven't seen you in a while. Let's go out. Let's go out and have a good time. Let's go out and go shoe shopping. We haven't done that in a while. I can't do that. I can't go out with her. My husband just died. My husband just died 8 months ago. I can't laugh. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to him if I laugh. Friend calls. I can't do that. I can't laugh. It wouldn't be fair to him. My husband just died 8 months ago. I'll be betraying him. The feeling is guilt. Now, you know what I talked to you about guilt, but I'm just telling you that's her feeling is guilt. And her action is she says no, she cancels. She might go at first. She might say agree to go at first, but she can't get out of the spin of the thought. She can't get out of the spin of the thought about how she would be betraying her husband if she went out to lunch at the little French bistro down the street at lunch at 12 o'clock and had a glass of wine. What if she laughed? What if she enjoyed? That wouldn't be fair to him. It would not be fair to him. Do you see the chain? That's what we're interrupting tonight. We need to interrupt the chain where the event connects to the thought, connects to the feeling, connects to the action. There's a total chain that happens every time we do this. I taught this the other night, but now I'm teaching something that we can do with it, which is brain dump. We are going to give the alarm system at the center of your brain a job. We're giving it a job. It needs a job. It needs a job to do. Friends, I want to tell you this. I have a set of 3-year-old twins. I talk about them all the time. I have 5 grandchildren, but the twins live here. And the 3-year-old little girl's name is Karis. And Karis is going to be in EK's college class next week, let me tell you. But Karis needs jobs because if Karis doesn't have jobs, she starts to freak out. She screams, she yells, she's crying all the time. So some of the jobs I give her, everything I'm doing, she's right along with me doing her job. I might be dumping the trash. She's right there helping me put the new trash back on. We have coffee pods and no, she said, not my kiddos. She has to refill the coffee pods. If she comes in there and the coffee pods are low, she has to get them out right away. Anytime I can give her something to do and keep her busy, she needs a job. If she doesn't have a job, she's fighting with brother. She's crying. She's screaming. She's emotional. So I'm constantly looking for things for her to do. There's a lot of times that right before I start in here, start in the live, she'll be in here with me. She's writing on this board. She's trying to write a K right now. She can make a circle. There's all the things. She's ready to go. Boy, he's just happy with, climbing. And we got to give our brain a job to do. Just like I have to keep Karis busy, You've got to give your brain a job to do because it is scanning the world for danger. It is looking for evidence. Inspector Clouseau is here tonight. She knows what I mean. We look for evidence. We look for evidence of grief. We look for evidence of pain because we want to prove that we are feeling the worst possible case. We are feeling the worst and we're looking for the evidence. Suzanne says, I got to get my brain to just stay put and quit taking a vacation. I'm going with you, girl. Okay. So I want everybody to get a fresh piece of paper. All you need is something like this. Hey, this is scratch paper, guys. You can use an envelope. I don't care. Use an envelope. Use something that you got from your kid's school. When it's time to do a brain dump, I'm telling you, you're going to find the paper that you need. I would use this. I use this. And I'll use this. So this is scratch paper. This is a brain dump from earlier, just so you guys know. All right. Okay. So I want everybody to get a fresh piece of paper. At the top of the paper, I want you to write the words brain dump. Now, a couple of questions that came up today. I don't write this on my paper, but I'm just wanting you to have it on there so you know what it is. A couple of questions that came up today. Can you keep the brain dumps all in one book? I personally don't, but my brain dump queen absolutely does. She puts them in her journal. I'm looking for my book. Jeez. I had a stack of paper. She puts them in a book. I do kind of half and half. So I do brain dumps in my calendar. I do brain dumps in my calendar. You can get a journal book and put them in the journal book. You absolutely can do that. You can do like I do and put them on scratch paper. If I get woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you better damn sure believe I'm doing a brain dump. If I start to panic about something, finances, time with the kids, an argument, I'm going to do a brain dump. It is the most amazing tool out there that I know of to help me. It blows off the pressure. Beautiful, beautiful sister today in our group said she brain dumps on her brain dumps. Just love this. She brain dumps on her brain dumps. And I'll tell you what, if something comes up in there that is still keeping her heavy, she takes it from this brain dump and moves it to another brain dump and then brain dumps on that. If she ends up with a question in here that she can't figure the answer out to, she takes that question, she moves it to another brain dump, a new clean piece of paper, and she brain dumps on there. There have been times where I have gone to her in a session. Suzanne is one of these beautiful women. Monette is one of these beautiful women where Debbie has been in there, where she's brain dumped, and I get into the call with them, and then they say, hey, I brain dumped on this. Okay? Okay, so I want you to turn the first piece of paper. You don't have to write the word brain dump on it. It is okay for your paper to be messy. A brain dump should be messy. A brain dump is not a list. I'm not asking you to write a list. I'm not asking you to come in here and write a checklist. Well, this happened at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't want that. I want you to look at your paper and I want you to just dump out onto the paper. No grammar, no sentences if you don't want them, just words. Okay, I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes. If you run out of words, I want you to just keep going. Keep going for 3 minutes until the next thing shows up. So Whatever happens, just do it again. Whatever happens, if you run out of words, just keep writing. Okay. I want to give you guys some words that you can start your dump with, okay? Some sentences that you can start your dump with. You can pick any of these. I hate that. I miss Bob. I miss his cooking. I miss our times together. I miss our Sunday morning coffee. I don't know. What do you miss, right? I'm scared. I'm scared that. I need. Today's landmine. What happened today that's causing you heartache? All right? I hate that. Pick one of these. I miss. I'm scared that. What's something that's heavy on your heart? Write about that, okay? The one thing I can't say out loud. What can't you say out loud? What can't you say out loud? Hold on, I got another one. I keep avoiding. What are you avoiding? Right? You can write it on that. All right, I'm going to do one as well, and we're going to go for 3 minutes. Okay. Okay. It's not going to make sense. I know it's not going to make sense, but I want you guys to just keep going. All right. In 1 minute, I'm going to start. I'm going to do mine on an argument that Tony and I just had. I'm going to do mine in an argument because I want this to be a real brain dump. I want you to put the hardest thing first. Okay, start. Everybody start. Okay, stop. Thank you. Thank you. Now I want you guys to look at your work and we're going to sort it out. Look at what you wrote. Look back over what you wrote. Circle any feelings that came up. If you said sad, angry, numb, guilty, lonely, afraid, I want you to circle it. All right. Yes, it was hard. Miss Vicky said that was hard. I actually got really mad. A lot of anger came out. A lot of anger came out. A lot of times I can move the emotion, but apparently I'm still really mad about this. So a lot of anger came out. Circle any feelings. I still feel lost. Hold on. We're going through it, Linda. This is not to clear anything. It's just to move the energy. Underline your thoughts. Any sentences that carry meaning. Usually there are words like should, never, always, and if only. Should, never, always, and if only. Miss Linda, I also want to know from you, are you done or do you have more to write? Do you need to go from that brain dump to a second brain dump? I couldn't do it. Bathroom break. I got it. It's fair. A lot of us can't do it. Underline your thoughts. Underline your sentences. Underline sentences that have words like should, never, always, and only. Put a box around things that you need to do. So if you went from doing your brain dump to doing your grocery list or your to-do list, which happens a lot, this can happen a lot. You can be in here doing, mine happened to be very negative and emotional, so I just kept going. But sometimes we write down a few things and the next thing we know, we have to call the bank, store, eggs, put a box around those things. If that came out of your brain, put a box around them. Actually, I did 2 pages today. Good for you, Debbie. Good for you. That was hard. My heart to yours. Box your task. If anything came up, like pick up groceries, anything like that. So you're going to circle emotions, underline sentences. Okay, here's why we do this. Feelings belong in the body. Thoughts belong on paper. Feelings belong to the body. Thoughts belong on paper where we can question them. Tasks belong in a list. Let me show you what I mean by that. So you're doing your brain dump on Tony, and you've got some things going on. You and Tony got into a fight, and you got some things going on. What I'm asking you to do is, anytime you see an emotion, I want you to circle those emotions. I'm so mad. I am so mad. I want you to circle mad. Those belong to your body. Those emotions belong to your heart. They don't belong here, right? Sentence that carry meanings. You always leave the trash in the kitchen. You always, you never, I said always, never, and should. Those are all thoughts, my friends. Those are the ones you're looking to look at. These are the ones that came from the brain. That's what belongs on here. That's what we're going after. These are good because you found them, you caught them, and they're good. I need to go to the bank. You just wrote the word bank because you're like, oh my gosh, I got to go to the bank. And you wrote the word bank. Then you're just going to put a square around it, right? So you're just going to put a square around it because it's bank. And that's why we do that. Now we've got never, should, and always. Rosie says, I'm late, but I always try to stay busy to avoid my feelings. Avoiding your feelings is just going to prolong them, Miss Rosie. Miss Cynthia said, I'm depressed and insecure. Did you do a brain dump, Miss Cynthia? Did you do a brain dump with us? What about questions? Okay, yes. So questions can be moved to the next brain dump, right? So underlying thoughts, box and tags. Here's what we do. So when we have a question, I had a question on mine. Why are you doing this? Let's say that's your question and it came out in here. Why are you doing this? Why are you acting like this? Why do we have to go back after 24 years? Blah, 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 blah. Take this question and this is the dump on the dump that Miss Monette was talking about. And ask yourself that question and put that question here and do another dump. You guys, you can answer a question in a dump. You can dump on a question. Why are you doing this? Okay, everybody hold on tight. I'm going to say this. Why did you leave me? Why did you leave me? Why now? Where are you? Those are all dumps that we can do. I have mostly questions. There's a lot of questions you probably still have, Miss Becky, around the loss. My thought is there's a lot of questions that you still have. What I want you to do is I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I don't want you to freak out. Pick one question and do it tomorrow. Pick one question and do it tomorrow. If you need to discuss it with me, I want you to reach out. Do not suffer in that alone. We can go through it together. What about a statement? A statement. Miss Vicki, is there any way you could share the statement with me? Do you feel safe enough to share it? I have so much to dump on. EK, I can't even tell you, like even right now, I didn't share my brain dump with you guys, but you're not going to be able to read it. But I purposely made it so you can't read it. Oh, Miss Linda, that's the perfect thing to brain dump on. She says, I miss my dad. I miss my dad. She said, I'm trying. Miss Cynthia said, I'm trying and working on it. Keep going, Miss Cynthia. You got this. All right. You guys know that I've been gone for a month. My mother's husband died. EK, I want to talk to you about that. My mother's husband died, so I've been gone for a month. My husband, you guys, when I tell you that I'm married to the best man ever possible on this earth, I'm married to the best man. But he also likes to have me with him. He likes to have me near him. He likes to do stuff with me. He was really missing me. But I walk through the door. There's 2 3-year-olds in here who keep saying, darling, I need you, because they really miss me. So now they keep telling me every day that they need me. And that I got to see about Brittany because Brittany's going through a hard time, working on that. So I'm doing all the things. And I'm working. So I'm doing all the things and I'm working. And I know that Tony gets this way. Instead of saying, honey, we really need some one-on-one time. Hey, I think we really need some one-on-one time. Instead of saying that, even though you guys, I'm going to admit, I know that we need one-on-one time. I know that I need to slow it down. Sometimes I get too busy and I'm like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. But he tends to start a fight. And so he started a fight. And the fight was about, today's Thursday. So Tuesday night, I made dinner. Now, mind you guys, I want you to know this. I'm working in here, but we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner together every day. I cook that, and we sit at the table and we eat together. So he is with me 3 times throughout the day. Most times I don't make breakfast, but we at least have coffee together, and then we'll have lunch and dinner together. And I make it from scratch. I cook. I go out there and I cook. Sometimes we do leftovers, but I cook. Anyway, and I digressed. So, I was out there on Tuesday night. I was so tired. We had worked. I had done the live. I went out there and I was just like, let me just scroll on TikTok for a minute. And then I had to clean the kitchen. And he comes out, and this is what he says. I'm laughing about this now, but he's like, I thought you were coming in the room. I thought we were going to discuss our lives and what we're going to be doing in the next year. What? Where did you get that from? Like, he just like, blah, right? Okay. If I had to translate and speak in Tony, he was saying, hey, honey, I really miss you. I really want to spend some time with you. Can we spend some time together? Of course, he does that. And I'm like, okay, weirdo, what planet are you coming from? And of course, sends back on. And that's what I brain dumped on. So I brain dumped on that. So I put Tony right here in the middle, and then I put fight. And right away I was like, where are you coming from with this? Why are you doing this? I'm working my ass off for us and for this family. Don't you see me working? I'm the one that's cooking. I'm the one that's good. Like, I literally was putting down all the things that I didn't get a chance to say in the fight. I was literally just writing them down. And you guys, I want you to know something. I was doing an actual brain dump right here. A ton of negative, mad energy was coming out. Negative, mad energy was coming out on here. So, would I ever show this to Tony? No, because look at this. He will think I'm as crazy as you guys are thinking I am right now. Here's what happened. Some of the anger that I had in the fight that I never got a chance to express with him, the words that I never got to say, landed on this paper. I also know he really was saying, I need to spend some time with you. I knew that on Tuesday night, but I wasn't giving it to him. I was just so mad because we have two choices, my friends. And most times we have two choices. We can stand on our rightness or we can be happy. We can stand on our rightness or we can be happy. And Tuesday night, I was standing on my rightness. Are you kidding me? I just cooked dinner for us. We just had steak and shrimp. Are you kidding me right now? I'm tired. I've worked all day. Blah, 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 right? Standing on my rightness as opposed to happy, which is, I'm sorry, honey, I can see that you need to spend some time with me right now. Let me finish the kitchen. I'll come in there. I wasn't even giving him that. Well, I wasn't going to give it to him. Anyway, what has happened here, just for me, I'm just letting you guys know, I got out a lot of negative energy that I was still holding against him in the fight. Tony got to get out a lot that Tuesday night. He got to get out a lot. And when he got that out, he was fine. But I wasn't really giving him anything. I was just kind of taking. So this allowed me to get the energy. When I said to you guys today, I'm going to do my brain dump on something I really want to brain dump, I knew I was going to brain dump on something real. A few weeks ago, Brittany got really sick, and she ended up in the hospital for medical attention. She needed mental attention, and I brain dumped on that. And I brain dumped on that in Grief Study Hall, and I'm telling you, the emotion that came out of that was amazing for me to absolutely to be able to go through it and see it. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm going to look at the questions that we have here. I miss my dad. It will be a year tomorrow. Miss Linda, that is perfect for you to brain dump on. If I were you, I would grab a piece of paper. I miss you, Dad. That's it. I miss you, Dad. And then just go from there. On the milestone anniversary of someone, you can do the brain dump on that day in honor of them. These are the things I miss. These are the things I think about. Why carry the pain, Miss Linda, of all the missing dad? Why carry that pain when you can put it on here? I miss the way you filled my tire up. I wish the way you always took care of the oil in my car. I miss the way you would just show up in my house. I miss your fried chicken. I miss. Hey, Miss Linda, also, that doesn't mean that this won't make you cry. You may totally break out in tears, and it's okay. Go there. Allow it to be there. Miss Joanne says, can we do it again? You can do them as many times as you like. You should be doing them, especially in active grief, often. You should be doing them often, every single day. Miss EK said, I have so much to dump on. Girl. Joanne, she answered you. I've never done that before. I guess I'm buying a whole new journal. For some of you that come into the group and keep saying the same things over and over and over again, I miss him. I miss him. I need him. I need him. For some of you that keep saying the same thing over again, it's because it's stuck. It is stuck in there. Yes, it's true. You miss him. Yes, it's true. You need him. All of that is true. But if you feel like you can't get past that one sentence, you need to do a brain dump on it. It helps you move the energy. Does it move the statement? No. Will it take away the pain? Sometimes yes. Sometimes you have such huge discovery. It changes your outlook on the grief. When I tell you that Miss Monette has changed her grief from doing brain dumps, she has changed her grief from doing brain dumps. So has Suzanne. And I got permission to share this stuff, you guys. So they said I could talk about their brain dumps. That's why I'm doing it. About 3 months ago, Miss Suzanne, our friend, lost her brother after losing her partner. And before she even got to doing her grief work, I showed up on a call with her one day and she's like, I don't know what's going on, but I just had to dump this out. And she just pulls out the paper and then she had all of the stuff written out. And she was like, this said this said that. And together, she and I went through the dump. When I tell you guys, I was never so proud of somebody in my life that she had the dump already ready to go. And she kind of knew what it connected back to. She already had figured out what it connected back to. My other dumper, Miss Monette. Miss Monette is a beautiful, beautiful woman who, if you guys have been around her at all, you'll know. If you've been study hall, she shares her story. She's lost 3 children. The first time I met her, which was almost a year ago, it's probably been over a year, I think now, almost a year ago, she made an appointment. She got an appointment on my calendar. Okay, let me go see Miss Monette. I go in and I actually tell her right now, she was facing a different direction in her house. She was facing like this way. I don't know why that's so important to me, but we were looking face to face in the Zoom call. She almost couldn't complete a full sentence. Like it was so scrambled in her brain. I didn't save her. She saved herself. I didn't move her. We just started talking. She had a journal. She was sort of dumping already because she was journaling. She was reading to me through the journals. Somewhere along the way, I introduced a dump. I introduced a brain dump. And something in that just clicked for her. Because she was already a journaler, the dumping clicked for her. Miss Monette, if I'm wrong, please forgive me. You can change it. She said, you got to get that shit out. When I tell you guys, this woman is so funny, she's so funny. So there were multiple times, we would come into Grief Study Hall. She would come into Honor Society. She would come into her appointments. She would come into the meetings. She was telling me about the dumps. She was sharing with everybody. You guys got to do these dumps. You guys got to do these dumps. This is what I witnessed from this side in. This is what I witnessed about Miss Monette. Her laugh, she started making jokes. She's funny as hell. I can sit with her 2 hours, 3 hours, and we can just talk and enjoy each other. We're doing some very much needed deep grief work. There's a lot of times she shares her dumps with me. She said today, I did mine on Gary. Oh, you did? Gary Dale's her son. Today's the anniversary or the milestone from his death. And today she did on Gary. How was that? Miss Rosie, that is a double grief. That's a second layer to your original grief. Yes, it's a second layer to your grief, my love. She says they're giving her trouble with her granddaughter. That's also you may want to do a brain dump on it or make an appointment and get in my calendar. Okay, everyone. My name is Sharon Brubaker. I'm the owner of the Grief School. The Grief School is the place where healing begins. Click the link in the bio. You guys touch the picture, touch my picture again. Click the link that says click here for hope. If you download That Grief Shit, there's a book in there called That Grief Shit. The last chapter is chapter 9 is on how to do brain dumps. I actually gave some prompts for the brain dumps. This is a free guide. It's a free ebook. Guys, it's just filled with stuff just describing grief. It's just filled with stuff describing grief. But here's the deal. I just put some notes in here about grief, the shitty parts of grief. That's all it is. It's the shitty parts of grief. And then on each chapter, for 9 chapters, you get an email from me with a training video in it. And one of the things that I train you on is brain dumps. What's been spinning in your head all day? Dump it, right? No one will read this. Let it be raw. No one will read this. Let it be raw. What if what did you wanted to write was, I effing hate you. I don't like you. You make me sick. What if something like that is what you wanted to put in there? Right? Trisha said, I'm so tired of people offering unsolicited advice in grief. Dump it, girl. Please get this book because that's really what I'm talking about is in all this shit. Okay. I'm going to read out of the book. This is where real healing begins. You've been told that time will heal. You've been told that staying busy will distract you. You've been told that being strong will protect you. But here's the truth. None of those things are the doorway to healing. Your pain is. I know that's not what you wanted to hear right now. You're probably thinking, Sharon, I'm drowning in this pain. And you're telling me to walk through it? Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you. Because the only way out of this grief is through it. But here's the difference. You were not meant to walk through this alone. You were never meant to walk through this alone. And that's why we're here together. Here's where most griefers get stuck. The 4 things that we don't want to do. We resist. We avoid. We avoid the emotions. We avoid the grief. We avoid the brain dumps. I know this sounds simple. I know brain dumps sound simple, but I want to tell you this. Most grief is only done at an 8th grade level. It's not this big thing college course that we need to take to figure it out. Hey, Miss Kelly, so nice to see you. So nice to see you. EK is buying cases and cases of paper in case anybody wants to go and brain dump with her. Yes. Duda's sister said, can a brain dump be all the things you wish you could have said to your person? 100%. 100%. If I were going to do that, I would just do this. You guys, when I draw this line, that's my piece of paper. I guess you know that. I would just write his name down. I would just write his name down. You could write also, I wish, I miss, I need. You could just do that and then just go at it. Of course, all the things you said, all the things you miss. I miss my mom. I was her caregiver in our home. Miss Rosie, one of the things that happens when we're the caregiver and we no longer have that job, we have double the loss. We have the loss of our person, and we also have the loss of our responsibility. Miss Cynthia, are you hearing me say that? We also have the loss of our responsibility, our job, our full-time job, our job of giving back, our job of loving them and taking care of them. It is a double loss, and we have to allow for the space of that. One of the things you might want to brain dump on is not having that, not having her for you to care for. I need a case of paper from Sam's Club. Miss Mona said, thank you. Okay, you guys, I got to go to the bottom so I can read. Thank you, guys. Any advice on how to help my dad? He has given up. Oh, he has, and he's drinking heavily. One of the things is talking, Kelly. Miss Kelly, talking, especially when he's not drinking. Talking. Talk about mom. See if you can get him to talk. See if you can get him to talk about what he's feeling and what he's going through. He doesn't talk about her at all. Then don't ask him. I didn't say ask him. I said talk. So it's going to go like this. I was thinking about that, how mom used to make that chocolate cake. Remember that chocolate cake was so moist? I really wish I could get it just like her. I really miss that. I think there's so much trauma from when she was in the hospital. Don't touch that subject. Talk about things that are light and airy. Now you're talking from your perspective about a story about mom, and then you're going to add in emotional words. I really miss that cake. Then you're just going to be quiet. 2 hours later, mention something else. Just get it light and airy, light and airy, light and airy, and see if you can get him talking. Miss Kelly, if that doesn't work, click the link in the bio, get on my calendar, and let's you and I come up with a plan. Flaw Girl, if she says, if someone else tells me it's time to move on, I'm going to scream. Can you please brain dump that? And you can write down why it's time not to move on. Why I'm not moving on. Why do I avoid? Because it hurts. Miss Rosie said, why do I avoid? Because it hurts. You avoid because it hurts. Because it hurts too bad. Because it hurts down deep. Because you've never been told that it's okay to feel negative emotions. You've never been told that negative emotions are part of this grieving process. We've never, not just you, all of us, we've never been told that we're supposed to be feeling these negative emotions. Oh, Debbie says I printed it today. I got home from the first night. I made my first video talking to him. I love it. I love it, Duda sister. Duda sister says, I realize now that I've been doing dumps. But digitally. Yeah, but use your pen and paper. Take it pen to paper. I want you using all the senses for this. Miss Rosie, it's a double-edged sword there. A double-edged sword. I would do a brain dump on it. And then I would also get in my calendar and book an appointment. Let's talk about it. Rosie says, God's servant. She said, good advice. It's the truth, sweetie. It is really the truth. You got a double whammy and you getting hit twice. And it's that caretaker daughter grief. It hurts so much. Yeah. The next thing is after you've done that, after you do that one, Flaw Girl, you might want to do even like releasing it, releasing the pain to them. All right. Okay, everybody, take a breath. Take a breath. What you did was pretty deep. What you did was pretty deep. Even if you just went surface, I'm so, so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Put your feet flat on the floor. Inhale. And I want you to know you are safe. You are safe. Your body is safe. Your brain is releasing. If you're not a person that likes journaling, brain dumping is definitely a way to go. If you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling a lot of anxiety, brain dumping is a way to go. You just need an exit route from the noise. If it's too noisy, you need to do a brain dump. If you don't want to write it out, I'm absolutely okay with you doing it digitally, but this is my first choice. This is my first choice, but you absolutely, I'm telling you guys, look, I get these young girls in here and they do all of their grief homework on this. They do all their grief homework on this. So don't tell me you can't make this work. You can make it work if you need to. Go to the notepad. Is talking to the person you lost out loud like a brain dump? Yes, my love. That's talking, right? Today we talked about journaling, talking, and brain dumping, and that's absolutely talking. If you're terrified someone will read it, tear it up. Throw it away. It still counts. Look at it, review it, look it over, and then tear it up. If 3 minutes feels too long or you can't do it in 3 minutes, do it in one. Do whatever you can in one minute. And if a blank page scares you, do it this way. Do the back of an envelope and tear it up. Vicky says, I have been saying it out loud, but writing it down feels so much better. Ms. Vicky, I look up, and this is no joke, I do. I'm mostly talking to Sharon, and sometimes I'll tell her to go get my dad. I'm not kidding. You guys think I'm kidding. Sharon, you know that you need to get my dad right now. You guys need to get Jesus in the room. I need this help right now. I'll look up and talk to Sharon. But writing it out, when you write it out, you're using the heart, the brain, the eyes, the ears, the taste. That hand is moving. You're using it all to circulate that energy. That's why the energy of, you're moving the energy. I talk to Mike all day long. I'm sure he thinks, please call someone. Hey, lady, could you call somebody? But writing it out is so, so cool. It's a whole body experience. Yes, it is. It's a whole body experience. If you're terrified someone will read it, throw it away. If a blank page scares you, get something smaller. If you don't know what to write the words, I feel. I feel. And then if you know something's happened, like let's say something's happened and you just want to know where you're at in a certain thing, like I got in a car accident, I feel, you know it's about the car accident, then just write how you're feeling about that. Write how you're feeling about that. Here's what happens when your brain dumps. The noise moves out of your skull and onto the paper. The alarm quiets enough of your thinking so that your brain can come back online. It is a reset. It is a reset. Your mess turns into 3 columns that it can actually work from. It turns into feelings, which means we need to feel. It turns into thoughts, which are the questions, and it turns into task. And maybe most importantly, your brain learns that when the panic happens, it's safe to release it onto this paper. It's safe to put it on this paper. That's how you lower the ambush that's been happening at you over and over again. A lot of you have been having ambush after ambush after ambush. And then when you get here, you are blah, 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 blah. Girl, you need to do a brain dump. And I can walk you through it. But it changes the way your grief is evolving. What is the max time we should spend on a brain dump? There's no max time. There's no max time. I wouldn't do it for an hour. I don't think you could do it for an hour. I think 5-10 minutes is probably the max. Friends, when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm worried about stuff, I can do a pretty long brain dump, but they're not like what I just did here. I'm not just writing. I might write columns. Hold on. I do it a lot in columns. I don't want you guys to see this, but this was a money brain dump I was doing the other day. So I write columns of different things that I need to do, and I dump it out. I write columns. I might write groceries. I might write things I'm worried about. I might write it all into columns. Let me show you what I'm doing. I make columns, and then I dump into the columns. And that is, maybe you might call it more brain mapping, but I still call it brain dumping. I make it look crazy on the page. There is something about a brain dump that really releases the energy for you. Okay, your brain learns by repetition. Give yourself time to practice this. Allow 2 or 3 or 4 brain dumps before you give up on it. At least try to do 4 or 5 brain dumps. I said 2 or 3 or 4. Tonight wasn't about writing beautifully. It was about surviving this grief and moving energy. If you felt like you got a breath of fresh air and you got some oxygen in you, don't stop here. Come and sit with me. Come and sit with me in Grief Study Hall on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We can do these together. We can do brain dumps. You can bring the brain dumps there. You can bring the brain dumps and the questions there. Grief Study Hall is a place where you're supposed to bring your questions, and you and I can get together and I can coach you. I talk to my mom quietly when I go into her room. I love that, Rosie. Rosie, one of the other things you can do is write. You can write a brain dump to her and just put it under her pillow. Okay, Miss Rosie? My mom's room is there. It's all set up. It's ready to go. If I'm having an extremely emotional day, I would write all the emotions how much I miss her. I would fold it up and put it under her pillow. Nobody needs to know it's there, just you. Will it help with the image of being with him when he passed? You got to brain dump it 100%, Ms. Vicky. So are you telling me, and let me see if I understand this correctly, that you were with him on the day that he passed, and that's really strong and emotional with you because you keep going back to the memory of the last day? Am I understanding that correctly? You keep going back to the memory of the last day. Sounds like that's what you're saying. Or you were there on the when he passed in the hospital and you were holding his hand. 100%, you got to brain dump it. Oh, Debbie, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. You're very, very welcome. This is so the top of the pyramid of the things we're going to do. So the top of the pyramid. Grief Study Hall is a great place for you guys to come and join me and get more coaching on this area. You're so blessed with your husband wanting to be with you. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. I appreciate that. I hope that this brain dump helps you. Miss Cynthia, please click the link in the bio that says Beacons AI, the grief school, and set some time with me. I'd love to set some time with you. Yes, I was with him when he took his last breath. And yes, I was holding his hand. So that's not just one brain dump, Miss Vicky. That's probably multiple brain dumps. So I want you to do this. I don't know where you're at in your grief. How long has it been, Miss Vicky? I know you said his name is Mike. How long has it been since Mike left? Everybody, can we tap the screen for Miss Vicky and for Mike right now? Give her some love and some energy. Oh, it's been 4 months. Okay. I don't know if you're strong enough, but I want to give you this thought. It was April 6th, right? Mike was April 6th, I think. Is that 4 months? It was there. Oh, May 18th. Without attaching to Mike, I want you to do this. I want you to write May 18th on the piece of paper. And then I want you to write why you hate May 18th. I want you to brain dump on why you hate May 18th. If you get anything out of there, then I want you to dump on the dump, like Miss Monette says. Dump on the dump. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get you closer to the event. One of the other things that may have happened, I don't know. One of the things that may have happened is that in the morning, everything seemed okay or seemed fine. I don't know. I'm making this up. And if that were the case, just dump out May 18th, what was happening that day, and just dump it out onto the paper, and then do a dump on the dump. And then just thank you guys. You're so amazing. Just keep dumping until you feel strong enough to do the hospital. Now, I don't know because you and I haven't talked, but if you want to set some time in my calendar, I can walk you through this. You may start on May 17th. I don't know because I don't know your story. If I knew your story, I could kind of guide you a little more, but you may start on May 17th or May 16th and work your way through to May 18th. Why am I hesitant? I'm hesitant because I don't know where you're at, and I don't want to cause a grief storm. I'd rather you ease into it as much as you feel comfortable. Ease into it as much as you feel comfortable. If the color that holds out to you is red, then dump on red, right? If the room seemed red, then why don't I like red? What is going on with red? Why do I see red? I see what you're saying. Ease yourself into it. So May 18th, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11. I don't know the time. I'm going to make this up, so you don't have to correct me. Let's say it happened at 12. You might dump on 7, 8, and 9. Do a brain dump on what was going on at 7, 8, 9, just so you're near the day, you're touching the day, you're close to the day. Over time, you're going to get closer to that day and really quickly and really want to dump that out. Because here's the other thing, Miss Vicky, and I want you to understand this. And I know you guys all understand this, but everything that happened that day was unfair. Everything that happened that day wasn't right. I'm going to say something, you guys, and I want you to hear me. Everything that happened that day wasn't the ugliest. There was some beauty in that day, and maybe you haven't found it yet, and maybe you haven't seen it, and maybe in your brain dump it might come up. I don't know. And I know that's shocking for me to say that, but it's true. Is it true we can't heal in the same place where there was trauma? Do you mean in your heart or where you live? I don't agree with that. Yeah. Don't you love that? They choose who gets to be with them when it happens. Where you live. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Listen, if that were true, Miss Joanne, if that were true, I don't even know who said that, okay? Let's think about this. The whole world would be doing this if that were true. Here's Erica. Here's Lewis. Here's Donovan. Here's Austin. If that were true, then when Austin drowned at the lake, Erica and Lewis would have moved. Now, hear me out. Erica and Lewis did move, but that was already planned, and they moved 2 years later. Then Donovan died in a motorcycle accident. They're still in the same house. And then my dad died. And Lewis's dad died. And they're still in the same house. All 4 of those losses, 3 of them in the same house. They didn't move. If that were the case, every time we would lose somebody, we would move. Because we can't heal from our trauma of our loss there. Granted, Miss Joanne, I know that there's other things that cause trauma other than death that happen in our heart. Here's something that may help you. Change the room around. Move the furniture. Paint it a different color. Move the pillows around. Make it yours. Make it how you would like it. You don't have to leave to heal. Sorry, that's not the case. Because here's the deal. You're healing from the brokenness in your heart. Where are you going that you're not going to take your heart? Furniture is moved around. I love it. I absolutely love it. But where are you going to go that you're not going to take your broken heart? Everywhere you go, there you are. And where you are, your broken heart is with you. The feelings still follow. Yes, Miss Vicky, yes, the feelings still follow. Rosie says, I did that. You moved? Or you wrote the note and left it for her. I think that's beautiful. Yeah, the fact that he chose you, I know you get it. Yes, you absolutely get it. Miss Joanne, here's the deal. It's two different comments, okay? Number one, oh, she said I moved the room around. Oh, yeah. You said, is it true that we have to move on to heal from trauma? I'm telling you, no, I don't believe that. The second you said, I feel like I should leave and I can get myself into a better place. That is okay, but here's the deal. Here's the deal, and I want you to see this, okay? Here's Sue. Sue's married to Bob. Bob dies. They live in a small town in the Midwest. Bob dies. Sue decides she's going to move to California. Here's Sue in California. Sue has her new house. I was showing this today. Sue also left all of her church friends. So all of the people that were supporting her all lived in the Midwest. She is at her new place in California. Sue has never found a church that she trusts. She's never found a church. She still hasn't been able to find a job yet. Money is starting to become an issue in her new home. And her heart is broken. All of this could have happened, and Sue could have been in the Midwest with her support system. So should someone move? I can't answer that question for you. And no friends. Should someone move? I'm not speaking for you, Miss Joanne. I'm not speaking for you. But my advice is always heal your broken heart, then move. Do your work and then move. One, you're a little bit stronger. You're thinking clearer. In our grief, we make huge mistakes. We make huge mistakes in our grief. I have seen people sell their house, sell their car, give all of the insurance money away. I've seen people do all of the things just because the pain was so bad. Instead of doing their work, they do all of the other things. So I'm not telling you yes or no. One of the things I would do if I were you, I would brain dump it. Should I move? Should I move? I would do a brain dump because your body knows the answer. It knows what you should do. It absolutely knows what you should do. All right, friends, it's 9:30. I will not be on live tomorrow. I will not be on live tomorrow. I will be back Saturday morning. Saturday morning. And don't be surprised if I'm in the closet because I have a lot of clothes to hang up. So don't be surprised if I'm in the closet. My sister died in her room at home with me and my son. Hey, Miss Rosa, how are you doing? And does that make you want to move? Does it make you want to move that she died there? Or is it comforting? Is it comforting that she died there? No, it doesn't make you want to move. My dad died at home, and my mom's husband just recently died at home. And I was really comfortable in the room, in my mom's room, while I was there. And I would have stayed at my dad's. It was my sister's house. We stayed there. They stayed there for a year. So everybody's different. I hear you, though. I definitely hear you. I definitely hear you with that. All right, my friends. Miss Rosa, so glad to see you here. I will be back on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Saturday morning, we're going to be doing Grieve That Shit. We're going to be doing some work out of Grieve That Shit. Hey, Miss Sarah. And that's Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Download the ebook. Grief Study Hall is Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'd be honored to see any of you guys there. If you're not in the Facebook group, do join the Facebook group. The Facebook group is the Grief School. And I love it. Thank you so much, Miss Vicky. Thank you so much. I hope this helped you guys. I hope you helped this guy. I didn't go that deep into journaling, but I will break that out on Saturday. Ms. Mona said, thank you, everyone, for your support. Love it, love it, love it. All right, everybody. Oh, you're welcome, Sarah. You're welcome. I'll see you all on Saturday morning. Good night. Good night, everybody.